Hello, my name is Scott Robinson. I'm a Ruby on Rails, Angular, and front-end web development mentor and course writer at Thinkful. And I wanted to start a series about something that I've been thinking about doing for a little bit. And basically, I am going to write an entire application in a series of videos, completely on recording, with no trickery or anything in the background. I've done absolutely no research into what I'm about to do. I um, have not looked anything up. I have not taken any code from anywhere. I haven't even looked at other examples of the exact same thing. I wanted to basically build something from scratch and let everyone see how it's done in the real world. So I'm going to make a Tetris game in a browser, all from scratch, using no anything, just web development tools. And I'm going to do the whole thing in front of you, including debugging and all that stuff. And we're just going to go through this. And I have no idea if I can do this. I've never built a game in a browser before, ever. So this is kind of like if your boss comes into you and says you're going to do this thing and you've never done it before. So we're just going to figure it all out together. So there's going to be a lot of Googling. There's going to be a lot of debugging. I'm going to have a lot of issues. But we're going to make it through this. And at the end of this, we're going to have a game. And a second thing I want to do is potentially have a AI process that will solve the game, and or maybe, this is kind of big, maybe we could like throw up a second instance of the game and you could play against the computer. That's a little ambitious, however, but that's kind of where I think I'm going to take this. And I have no idea how long this is going to take me. I'm going to try to do like 30-minute, 40-minute videos, and we're just going to do whatever. So, that being said, I'm going to use what I usually use, and I want you guys to know that there are many different tools that you can use. There are many different IDEs. I'm going to use my favorite IDE. I might switch to another IDE halfway through. I'm going to do it just like I'm doing it at home. So you guys will be able to see kind of the process that we all go through. I also promise that I will not do any work on this outside of the video. So that you get to see everything from start to finish. And yeah, so we're going to have a lot of fun, hopefully. And you're going to get to see my buggy, terrible code, and hopefully some amazing, gloriful code. And yeah, so let's get started, right? So we're going to create a new repository on GitHub, and let's just call it Tetris, because I don't have a Tetris thing. So let's do README, and we'll add a get ignore later. So we'll create a repository. Boom, blank, empty. As you'll see, not doing anything at all to cheat you guys out of an experience. So I keep everything inside my repos folder. It's just my way of doing everything. You guys may have like a projects folder or something like that. This is just my way of doing it. It doesn't matter where you put it. If you don't understand Git and you're confused about Git and GitHub, I have a whole other video on that. You can watch that at your own time. I'm just going to probably fly through a lot of this stuff. Please go back, rewatch it, rewind, try to figure out what I'm doing. Ask me questions. I'd be more than happy to answer things. But don't get too caught up on like, oh, well, I want to use the themes that he uses or the tools that he uses because he's a pro or anything. No. Use whatever you guys use. It doesn't matter. I could do this all in TextEdit or Notepad, and I could do it in VIM, and it would all just turn out the same. So don't get caught up on tools and stuff. Yeah, so let's clone this down. So git clone, nope, not that, git clone, yes, https github.com, my super secret username, and what would we call it, Tetris? Yeah, Tetris. Oh, can't spell today. That's what it looks like when you mistype something. R-I-S. Okay. English is only my first language. Please don't get on to me for not spelling things correctly. And we're going to go into Tetris, and let's just alright, well, let's just, I guess, fire up the IDE, right? I use WebStorm. It's a paid product. You can like download it and play with it for 30 days for free. It's cool. I like it. Again, don't get caught up on things. You can use brackets, you can use Sublime, you can use whatever you want to use. I just like some of the features in it, and syntax and code completion and stuff like that. So, where's the button? Here it is. Okay. Oh yeah, and I'm also doing all these in one take. So, again, no lying here. So there's probably going to be a lot of me just dicking around trying to get things to work. But that's kind of part of the process, right? So here is my instance of WebStorm. All we have is a README. Let's get started. So what are we going to need, right? We are going to need a HTML file, obviously, and we will call it what nobody else ever calls their HTML files because we want to be rebels, right? Let's go ahead and create a get ignore, but we're not going to put anything in it yet. Oh, actually, my IDE creates this like idea folder, and it's really annoying to have shared, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there. All right, cancel. So now we need what? We're going to need a JavaScript file, right? And we will call it what nobody else ever calls their JavaScript file as well. Delete any annoying comments. And then we will also create a CSS file. Yeah, there. Okay, so what do we need? We got a doc type, we got HTML, we got a language. We're going to call this really boring title. Jesus, I can't spell. Okay, so we're going to need something in the body to see. Okay, so let's start thinking about this a little bit. We're going to need, we are going to need basically like a grid layout that's going to hold our game, right? So there's going to need to be some sort of grid layout inside of a box. So let's go ahead and create the wrapper. Section, we'll give it a class. And, wrapper is a pretty common thing to call things. And then we're going to put the grid inside of that whenever I actually get that written. And I guess let's go ahead and what should we do? So wrapper will have we're going to need what we call, I guess, a gutter or some margins on the side, right? So we're just going to do this really old school because we're just like mocking things out. So margin left 100 pixels and margin right 100 pixels. And then let's see, we'll just go ahead and create a let's see if we can't create a box. So div, we'll call it let's give it a class of box, and that will, I guess, be the basis of our grid, right? So a box, we're gonna see how this works. It's gonna give it a we'll give it a border, right? Border 2 pixels, solid, black. Be really boring. And we're gonna say let's try margin just auto for everything and see. Obviously the page is not going to be very tall, so let's go ahead and we're just going to throw this in for now. Body, let's give it like 600 pixels. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into the HEIGHT gotten into the EMs and stuff too much, so I'll probably experiment with them. It'd be good to kind of get this a little modernized. All right, so basically this is the same as you guys doing your like Karma, or not Karma. What is it called? The Sublime server. That's it. Is really all I'm setting up here. Just a little shortcut for me to we'll just call it test. To me, to just kind of open up this in Chrome really easily, just hitting your play button is really all that it does. Don't need that open. So as we can see, there's nothing on the page visible, but this is a great time to start using some of your tools. This is what we do. This is very, as you can see, something's out of. Oh, I didn't include the. Yeah, it kind of helps if you include the CSS. See, we all make the same mistakes. So I will link my rel. Small note about using rel. If you accidentally spell it ref because of like href and it's kind of like built into your fingers, it won't do anything and it will frustrate the hell out of you because that L looks like an F when you're staring at it. So always make sure it's rel. Style sheet. It's always good to do the types, even though they're not usually required, but it's very good to use them. href, and we'll do our index CSS and close that. Alright, so now if we rerun it, we will see a box at the top, I guess. And so the margin auto didn't seem to really work. The body is, in fact, tall. The wrapper, however, is not. So let's just start experimenting. We'll do margin auto on this as well. You can see it moved sideways, but it didn't really hop up or expand out. So again, until we get the stuff, I'm just gonna hack this in. So we're gonna do height. Let's get this inherit now. We'll just do what did I set it for? 600 pixels. So we'll do that, right? And then we'll try setting our box height to 600 pixels. And we now have a box. But our didn't we have the wrapper was supposed to give us some gutters on the side, so I didn't do that. And we will do margin. Let's do 100 pixel gutters. Yeah, it's a little better. So that gives us a box, right? That we can kind of start looking at and thinking about. Although, if you think about the classic Tetris game, it is a little smaller. So let's switch this to percents because we want it to be somewhat responsive, right? So let's do 10%, and then pro tip, I guess, if you put your cursor over top of the number that you're dealing with and you press the up and down keys, it will automatically increment for you so you can get exactly what you want. So again, I'm just making this look right on my screen. We're just mocking things out. And pressing the escape key makes it all go away. So what was that, 30%? Yeah. Press return and it saves it. Now, one thing, it's great to play around with stuff inside of the developer tools down here, and kind of like get the page looking the way you want. And then as soon as you do that, flip back over to your editor. Do not refresh the page. And you can kind of start copying things down. So we set the wrapper on section to auto 30%. Margin, let's do auto and 30%. And then we can get rid of those because they didn't seem to work for whatever reason. Right, and then height, oh, they got overwritten. The height, 600 pixels. Actually, let me try flipping this to 100% because that still seemed to work. Okay, can we do the same here? 100%. 100%. Aha! Okay, so now we got things basically it's controlled by the height of the body now. So that's a little better. It still doesn't look... Oh, because... that's... Oh, well... Okay. So we're going to set the height to 100%. And then we're going to set down here the height to 100%. Alright, so if we did that right, and then we refresh the page, it should look the same. Good, so now we've got our classes actually being served. That's a really nice trick to do, is to have the, to always use the developer tools to kind of play around with things and experiment and figure out, you know, what things are. There's a lot of valuable information in here. I could go over it, but we will see it because I will be using probably all of it. Okay, great. So now that we have just a simulated mock box here, we're going to need some, I guess we're going to need, what would be next? We need to develop some sort of grid here. Flexbox might be nice for that. But it might be hard to control. I'm trying to think of what would be, we need to define, what we need to do is we need to say how many are across and how many are down. And I don't know, so let's look up Tetris online and we're going to see, maybe we can find Tetris board sizes. Like, oh, here's all the different pieces. We're going to need that later. All the different sizes. We can grab some of the classic colors or whatever colors we want to use. Let's see. I guess we could count the squares on here, right? Let's do that. Let's just, you know, kind of do it easy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 across the bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does that look about halfway? 11. Let's make it 20 tall. So we're just gonna make 20 tall and 10 across the bottom. That's what this looks like. So let's do that. 10. So we're gonna need a box. Let's go ahead and start filling out our items. And we will do, trying to think if there's like a shortcut way to do this, because I don't want to have to write out all these HTML elements. And yeah, we could have the, let's do that. Let's have the JavaScript do that for us. So we are going to, let's see, should I use jQuery? Should I not use jQuery? Actually, I was reading earlier, unrelated, for animation, using jQuery will slow a lot of things down. I'm not sure how much animation I really want to do with this. It's not really meant to be like super everything. So I don't know. We could try doing it, but I know that once we get this kind of built out, we're going to, we're not really be using jQuery a whole lot, but it might be nice to go ahead and either start with or whatever. So I guess we can do that. So let's go look up that CDN for jQuery, right? And I don't know why, but this is funny, right? If I type jQuery in and press, I don't know why my Chrome does that, and it just takes me to this random search page. I could type anything else, right? And it searches on Google. But in order to actually search for jQuery, I have to go to google.com and search. I don't know why. Somebody complained to Time Warner for me. Let's see. So we're going to look up the CDN, right? So the CDN, usually it's on the first page. I guess it's not anymore. We could download it. Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I can show you guys Bower. One of the tools I use a lot is Bower. So there's also sure. Okay. So one of the tools I use is called Bower. You can look it up. Bower.io is the website for it. Really cool manager. I'm just gonna use it. You guys will see what it does. So we're gonna do Bower init, which creates a new init file. Yeah, we're gonna call this Tetris. This will be version 0 at the moment. There's no description. Yeah, that's my main JavaScript file. HTML. No, yes, sure, yes, yes, and then, yeah. Okay, looks good, yes. All right. So now that we've got Bower, we're going to do run Bower, install, save, jQuery. Okay, so what that does is it drops a Bower components folder in here with jQuery in here. So then we can link it to our page really easily by doing script. Again, always good to do types. Let's see, text, JavaScript, and source is Bower components, jQuery, distribution, jQuery, let's use the minified, and there we go. Okay, so now we have jQuery on our page. Let's also go ahead and add, I'm going to go ahead and do the trick. I haven't really done this much. I was kind of against it, but we'll do it. Script, type, text, Java, again, always with the quotes. Text, JavaScript, source, index. Index.js. And there we go. Okay. So now that we've got our JavaScript tied in, let's write some stuff. So again, all we're looking for is to basically create the grid for us. A really easy way to do that is you can do a for loop. So we'll create our iteration parameters. I and j are pretty typically used. So I equals 0, I is less than 11 because we want to go to 10. You could do less than or equal to, but that works. I plus plus, that's the first iteration. Then for I equals, j equals 0, j less than, we need, 20 tall? So let's do this the other way around. We're going to do this as 21, and this is going to be 11, and we'll do j plus plus. Okay, so we've got our for loops set, and then let's grab an instance of body, so for efficiency, right? Well, actually box, and we'll call it $box equals the box element that's on our page, and then we will do for box $box we will append a I guess we'll try it with divs first. So doing a self-closing like this will create a new tag for you. I like using this versus just putting a string in here. It allows you to do some nice things with it. And actually, what we can do to be even more efficient, we could create a $row and make that equal to a new div element. that we can use in here and also in our other loop, right? Because we're going to need that. So append the row, and actually let's do that at the bottom. So again, I told you this video is going to be boring. So we'll do row dot append, or sorry, box dot append our row. Okay, so now we need to iterate. So that'll make 21 rows. And we do need to do a little bit to them, right? They need to have, well, we can put class on them, right? So we'll put a add class of, we'll call it row. Okay, so that gives us that, and then we need to, we will do row dot append another div, I suppose, and we'll call this, we'll give it a class, add class of cell. Okay, so it's going to be kind of, well, let's put some CSS in here so we can kind of see what's going on. We're going to make every row have, it's going to need width to be 100% of its container, right? And then our height is going to be, what did we set it to? Well, 6, we need 21. What's 100 divided by 21? I'm terrible at math. So we'll pull up the calculator. 100 divided by 20 is 5. So we can give it a height of 5%. Right? I think so. And then we will create the cell, and the cell is going to have a height that is 100% of its parent and a width of, I guess, 10%, right? And then let's go ahead and we'll add a background for just for debugging. Again, this is really good to do when you're starting out. You know, mocking things out is to put just a random color on there so that you can kind of see what's going on. Background color, and we'll make this red. Okay. So now if we run that, you can see we have issues. We did not get the intended behavior. I have a lot of red here, and we don't have, I don't see any blue, but I'm sure it's here. Let's figure out what's going on. So we have row cells. That's not intended. I don't know why we have row cells. Let's see. Row equals a new element, row dot append. Aha! I didn't create a new object. That makes sense. So we're going to add a new object inside of that. Little syntax error there. And when we do that, we get rows with cells. Okay. So let's figure out, that's probably about 20 of them, right? Now the rows look right. When I'm hovering over these, they look like they're spaced correctly. So I'm very happy with the rows. However, the cells don't, they're also going vertically, which is really strange. And they're also padded really weird. And they come down 10 from the top. What do these ones do? They also appear to be, oh, Oh, they're okay. Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. All right. So they're set as block elements at the moment. So we need to make them inline block. Um, so each cell needs to be display inline block. Okay. So we refresh and we get a bunch of red. And this does this look better? Oh, I'm seeing cells. That's good. That's very good. However, some are 50, some are 49. I guess that's just a side effect. However, the last one of each one wraps around. So, was my math wrong? Let's figure out. So, what does this have? What about screen size? I don't know. Oh, that shouldn't matter. Okay, so something was up here. So, are there really 10 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where did we get the 11th one from? Because we're starting at 0. Why didn't you guys tell me to fix that? If I was starting at 1, I would have gone to 21. Okay. Now we'll refresh this. And we will take a look. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then 1, 2. Let's go all the way down to the bottom of this. And yay, it looks like we have essentially a grid now. Okay. And we scroll and it fits the box exactly. Perfect. So we have a grid and we have our box. That's looking really fantastically great. Okay. So now we're going to flip back over and let's actually let's kind of change some of this stuff. So we don't need the background colors because we now know that they're in the right place. And our cells, let's give them a border of 1 pixel, solid, black. Actually, let's try dotted. Let's see what a dotted border looks like. Flip back over. Okay, so still a little bit of issues here. Not sure why. Okay, so is that a cell or is that? Well, it has to be a cell because. Oh, where'd we get that from? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting. Okay, what's going on? We have our last element again drop. Oh. Okay, one thing to note is that sometimes your borders can mess with your total calculated width, right? So we're at 49.563, which the browser has to pop to an exact pixel. So it's either 40 or 50. That's why they go back between 40 and 50. But as you can see, it used to be 40 and 50. Now it's 52 and 51. So where did we add to? It was in the border. This can happen, and I believe the fix for that is to use border box, right? Let's look it up. So, border box. See, probably what I should do, right, is I should get a CSS reset. CSS reset and not be lame. Okay, so this probably has what I need in it, and that's not going to work for me. That's a lot better. All right, so we're going to copy that in. We're going to put that at the top of our file, so it comes in first. And okay, we're going to put let's put just a bunch of lines here to kind of tell ourselves that everything below this line is ours. All right, let's refresh the page and see if we get a slightly different result. A couple things changed, but not what I was looking for. Okay, so we're going to Google. Border, I know it has something to do with border box. Box sizing? Box sizing border box. Um, uh, okay, let's grab his code and we'll go ahead and throw that in. Oh, using stars is really inefficient. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab well, we can add it to here, right? Border or box sizing. Border box. And we'll refresh and see if we made a difference. Aha, we did. So we've got a little bit of a small, tiny little issue here at the side, but you know what? We've got a game surface now. We've got essentially what we're looking for, and we can go ahead and check responsiveness. And as you can see, it does in fact crunch down and kind of do some of the things that we want. So that's good. All right, so I think we've got a good place to stop for the moment. We've got a good box here, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll just add all this code. One thing to do with Bower is you usually want to ignore the Bower components, but make sure you leave the bower.json. It has these dependencies in there, and so when somebody else gets your code, they can run Bower install, and the dependencies will automatically download for them. Again, just look that up on their website if you're curious about it. So we will add the Bower components folder, save that, and then we'll run our git stuff. Git add everything, git commit like we have a grid. I can't spell and I can't quote. Strange. Alright, git push origin master. Awesome. Okay, so that'll do it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to take this a lot further and we're going to get this game built. I'll see you guys next time.